I hope that I come up.
Am I him?
Some people seem to be waiting
Seems like a lot.
for the results of the election.
The fact that you have people out there that are saying that the market's bad. The market's slowed down. You know, I call them headline readers. 2.5% on my interest rate on a 30-year mortgage. Well, that's normal, right? Well, no. When I got into real estate, I got licensed in 1998, right? Granted, the average...
What a dinosaur, Jesus Christ.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the Reyes, Orelle. I am Ralph Orelle again, Luis Reyes, and this is the Reyes Orelle Real Estate Team show, if you will. We got honest. We have no idea what we're going to call this thing. We need, full transparency here. This is the first time that Luis and I do this. The reason that we're doing this is because for years, Luis and I have carried on conversations with other people about the real estate market and just business in general. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of people have often told us that, hey, you guys should do a podcast, or you guys should sit down and film yourselves
And I think
while
we
you're just
should.
having a conversation. And we came to the reality that yeah, they're probably right.
Yeah.
I'm a very smart person, and I feel that my wisdom should be shared with the world.
But look, honestly, I think the reason we're also doing this is because we really want everybody to know each other, for everybody to know us, and for the public to understand. I've been doing this for 16 years. You've been doing this now for
26 years.
26 years. We have been in this industry for a long time. Ever since I started, I've been doing this full time. I used to run a pretty big team. I had 155 agents that I was overseeing last year, and Ralph and I decided to come together and decided to work as partners and grow this team. But why we want to have this conversation is because we really want to kind of talk about some of the things that people out there are talking about right now. And one of the subjects that keeps coming up, one of the topics that keeps coming up, is some people seem to be waiting.
Seems like a lot.
For the results of the election.
So
why will you wait? And I've never understood this.
I don't get it.
I
I don't understand it. I was having a conversation yesterday with a good friend of mine who we do some business together and whatnot, and he tells me, Ralph, I think that it's just people are waiting for the election, and that's it. I think by that point I had just about had it, right? Because I keep hearing about this. I keep hearing people saying, "Oh, I'm waiting for the election." No, because if this guy comes out, I don't know what's going to happen, or if this guy comes out, it's going to be great.
But let's be honest.
I don't know what that means.
Does it mean that if one candidate wins, then you don't buy?
Yeah, never. You're gonna like shrivel up in a corner and never buy anything ever again, or
does it mean that you sell everything? Maybe you sell everything?
Or maybe you sell everything in the hopes that the people whose candidate did win will go out there and buy everything. I don't know why you'd sell it.
Well, I remember...
For the same reason, I don't know why you wouldn't buy it, but...
I remember 8 years ago, some people were saying, I'm leaving the country.
Yes.
I remember, 4 years ago, some people said, I'm leaving the country. This year. So, and at the end of the day, United States of America continues to move forward. We continue to do well. We've had a pretty robust economy. The stock market is doing well, and overall the perception out there is that we're doing pretty well, and we have a strong country.
I feel that way, right? I feel, and I'm not a market specialist when it comes to the financial markets or anything, or I'm just not. I wasn't trained in that. I didn't go to school for that. Or for anything else for that matter.
But we do follow it.
But we do follow it. The financial market, what I listen to you more so, and to good friends of mine that are more involved in that. But I follow the real estate market, right? And aside from the whole not buying because I'm waiting for the election thing, is the fact that you have people out there that are saying that the market's bad. The market's slowed down. I call them headline readers. right? The people that read the headlines, like that article
Yeah.
that came out about a month ago in the I think it was the Florida.
Oh, I
Realtors.
remember that.
The one, remember that they said, oh, prices down by 11% or something crazy like that in these cities, and it'll surprise you where it is. And Miami was like #1 or Tampa, but it was
Right.
either somewhere in the top
But
3
if
or
you
something.
kept reading,
If you actually
understand-
read the article, yes, they're basically what they're telling you is the asking prices are down.
which is true,
By
right? So
11% or
so
whatever.
asking prices, and let's now start back in 2020, right? So in 2020, COVID hit. 2021, we were right in the middle of it, and the prices started to climb, and for obvious reasons, people were staying in their home, people were fixing their home, people now needed to find a home, and then a lot of people wanted to work out of their home, and so at that point in time, you have people that were asking 600, then they started asking 800, and they started asking $1 million, then they started asking 1.2. Fast forward to 2024, which is where we're at now. We are now seeing that those clients that we have that are asking prices that are not actually par with the market, they're having to lower their prices.
Yeah, those
they're
listings
having
are getting
to adjust.
stagnant.
They're getting stagnant. They're not selling, and for obvious reasons, right? I mean, rates right now are hovering right around 7%. Most likely, the Feds are going to lower the rate in September. I think that there's a lot of good indication for that. And overall, I think that next year we're going to have a little bit lower rates. But the second that happens, you're going to have prices continue to climb up because now affordability is going to be. I mean, people are going to just be able to buy more, right? And then, but I do want to talk to you about like what's happening with the inventory. Right?
Yeah. It would surprise a lot of people to hear the facts about it, right? Not to hear your crazy uncle who believes in candidate A or candidate B and says it's candidate A's fault or candidate B's fault as to why the market is horrible right now, right? Yeah. And yes, I do want to talk about that, but to talk a little bit more about what you were saying, you mentioned interest rates.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that it's important for people to realize, especially maybe the younger buyers out there, right? The people who are now getting into real estate. Yeah. Maybe they were just sitting on the sidelines or learning, they were in their late teens or something like that when, right when COVID hit, and they saw, as they were coming into this market, what they saw was these ridiculously low rates. Right, your 1.9s, your 1.5s,
which has never happened in the history of the United States.
It just doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
And my point is that historically,
yeah,
our rates are not high.
Right.
Our rates are actually low.
Right.
Right. Historically,
no.
I've been in this business, like he said, for 26 years, so I've dabbled in different parts of it, right? And while I was involved in the mortgage side of it, we were refinancing people that had mortgages from the early 80s, and they were at 18 and 19%. Anybody that's been in the business long enough to where they were around at the time that those people were either A, still around, and B, actually refinancing their properties, they can attest to that. They've seen that, right? 2.5% on my interest rate on a 30-year mortgage. Well, that's normal, right? That's the way it should be. Well, no.
Here's another interesting fact.
It's crazy.
Cash. Properties that are being paid cash. In 2022, we had, and this is just for the month of June. Right? So this is just from June of 2022 and compared to June 2023. In 22, you had 925 transactions that were all cash. And in June 2023, just recently, you had 761.
That's 17% less,
so,
almost 18.
Yeah, and this year, my guess is we're going to be trending lower.
Well, we're at 541.
500 now?
24.
There you go.
Right? So that's 28, almost 29% less than what it was in 23. So let's see here, from 22 to 24, 28, 38, 40, almost 48% less. It's 46%. But
and now more than ever, the question around is your property going to appraise is coming.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
before, because you have a lot of these sellers that are saying, I'm going to wait for that one cash buyer.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't realize that the cash buyer really is looking for a bargain. It's looking for something better
Correct.
because they're smart, right?
Correct.
They're not going to just spend all their money on a property that is not worth it,
Correct.
right? And so the concept of I'm waiting for a cash buyer, be careful with that because you have a lot less cash transactions happening right now.
Yep. And a lot of
properties
those
need to
buyers
appraise.
that people were talking about, like, because the guy comes in from New York, and guy looks at my house and says,
Still happening.
that house is $600,000. Well, I just sold the same thing in New York for $2.5 million, so I'll give you
$750.
Right? Like that guy. Although those guys are still coming,
Yeah.
but they're not doing that anymore.
No.
Because hopefully they're getting good representation, right? When they come down here and people are advising against it.
They're being smart, and also the prices they've gone up, right? They've gone up. So
that's the most interesting part. Maybe, yeah, sure, Pinecrest, you would have expected Pinecrest to have $15, $20 million houses. Why not, right?
Yeah. Coco Plum, Gables
all those
Estates,
neighborhoods. But then
Journey's End.
Look at neighborhoods like Miami Springs.
Yeah.
Look what's happened in Miami Springs. Most people don't even know what Miami Springs is. Let's start there.
Well, $350,000 homes 5-6 years ago that today are trading for $850,000, $900,000. A very, very, it's like the best kept secret, I think.
100%.
An oasis within our city that has a lot of trees and that is often
it's a Tree City, USA. Yeah.
Often compared to to Gables and Coral Gables, just because we have also the golf course there, but amazing what's happening also in that neighborhood.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy to think that we live there, right? So and it's crazy to think that when I bought there in 2019, right? When I bought my house there, I sit down with our financial advisor. He's one of my best friends, but financial advisor. Yeah. And he tells me, Ralph, so what are you going to do with your other house, right? Your house in we have the property we lived at.
Oh, I don't know what that was, but let me do the next
sandwich.
There you go. You're a badass.
Badass.
You're a badass. There you go.
So I wanted to sell the house. He wanted me to sell the house. My wife said absolutely not, right? So he asks me, he goes, okay, let's just look at it, let's look at it. Let's really look into this. What is your house worth today? And I tell him, well, I mean, I did the comps. It's like $375, right? That's what the house was worth at the time. He goes, what do you think it's going to be worth in 5 years?
I remember you. Yeah, I remember your story. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, how much could a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house be worth? Like, how much more than $375 could it possibly be, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. He asked me other questions, which were great questions. Would you pay $375 for it today to rent it out? Which is what we wanted to do. We wanted to rent it out, or we did rent it out. And I said, no, I probably wouldn't. And then he kept asking me, well, how much are you going to rent it out for? What's your mortgage? Ultimately, it was decided that my wife was right, I was wrong.
And you kept the house.
It made total sense to keep it, right?
Yeah.
And we keep the house. So fast forward 5 years, right? And we're talking about the house again. He says, well, how much is the house worth today? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I looked at it the other day. It's like $575, $600. And he goes, how much more do you think it'll be worth in 5 years? I'm like, dude.
Oh my God.
5 years ago, I couldn't fathom that it would be worth anything more than $375. Seriously, how much more than $575, $600 is somebody going to pay for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house? Come on. You know what I mean? He goes, well, would you pay that much for it to rent it out? Like, absolutely not, because with today's interest rates, it doesn't make sense. And we're going over the numbers. This is the really cool part. We're going over the numbers as to how much to rent it out for, right? And that house, my mortgage hasn't changed. Maybe it's gone up a little bit because of insurance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and taxes, not because it's no longer homesteaded. But the mortgage is pretty much there. We got one of those super low rates that I'm waiting for to buy more property. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit. It's got a super low rate. Whatever. We're good. And we're making an additional $700 a month when we rent it out now because our tenant's going to leave now, right? So
also because your rent is going to be higher.
The rents, it's
worth
crazy.
it.
Rents, is just. an additional $700 a month.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm lying. It's an additional $1,000 a month from when we had originally started renting out the house 5 years ago. So that's just bonus, right?
So you've been renting it for how many years?
5 years now.
So for 5 years. So every single, let's think about it this way. So every single year,
My rent's gone up
$200.
bucks.
$200.
Yeah.
Every single year, you just made that
Yeah.
much more.
Yeah.
So-
And my mortgage payment hasn't gone up by $1,000.
No.
It's nominal. What the mortgage payment has gone up because of the whatchamacallit, because of the taxes and the insurance. And fortunately, shoot, in 10 years, hopefully it's paid off, right? So
essentially, don't wait to buy.
don't wait to buy.
Buy and wait.
Buy and wait.
Just wait it out.
I like that.
And with that, let's
I
wrap
was
it up.
just going to say that. And with that, and now the rest of the story.
See you on the next one.
Take care, guys.